Hey, what's up YouTube? My name's Cameron Doherty here with another tech video. Now, I have 3 televisions in my house. 2 of them have been upgraded and are smart TVs that I can stream directly to. But I still have one old, just dumb TV. And so for a while, I've been using an Amazon Fire TV stick to provide streaming capabilities to that television, and quite frankly, I just hate it. It's slow, it doesn't have good storage, it has all sorts of issues all the time, and I've been looking for an alternative. So today I'm going to unbox the new Google Chromecast with Google TV, and we're gonna get a first impression and see if it seems better. Okay, so this is the Sky, I believe they call it. Yeah, Sky Blue, I think, is the official color name. Comes in a couple different colors, but this one seemed like a pretty interesting color. I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like in person. So we unbox this. So we've got, looks like our device and our remote. So we'll go ahead and take this out. I did own actually the very first edition Chromecast way back. This is going back a number of years. And so I always enjoyed that thing. It couldn't do nearly as much as this device. So it was really just to, cast YouTube or something like that onto your TV. And so obviously there's a lot more that comes with these devices now. And I'm curious to see how it's evolved over the years, but not my first Chromecast, but definitely it's been a little while since I've had one. So the device itself, this is like very nice construction. It's got a nice flat cable here, very soft touch. And it's kind of sad that this has to sit behind your TV hidden, plugged into an HDMI port, because it's very nice, it's very pretty. So that is the overall device itself. Let's take a look at the remote. This is a very small box. So it's gonna be a very narrow remote. Okay, actually that feels much more normal once it's in your hand. But so we have an overall navigational button at the top, a back and home button, a quick mute button, YouTube and Netflix, which are probably the 2 that I'm gonna use the most, so I'm happy about that. A power button, and then I guess that looks like a share icon. I'll have to figure out exactly what that button is. But it looks kind of like what you would see for share as a normal icon in most places. And then it looks like a volume rocker on the side. So this slides off. 2 AAA batteries, looks like, to power this. And let's find out what else we've got in here. We've got a quick start guide. And then we have our power cable and a wall adapter for that power cable. Looks like we have, wow, they went the extra mile here. We've got a color matched set of batteries. They're not an exact match, but they are pretty darn close. I'm assuming that is color matched versus them happening to have light blue, kind of aqua, teal, whatever you'd call this color, batteries. But I don't know. I'd say, yeah, particularly against that button there, they definitely color matched those batteries, which is saying something. They are completely unbranded. Actually, it has Google on it. Interesting. Made in Indonesia. So this is a Google-specific AAA battery that ships with their device that has been color matched to keep the experience cohesive. That is definitely a unique product experience. So kudos to you, Google, on that one. That's very interesting. So if you've never owned a device like this, a casting device, whether it be a Fire Stick, a Roku, a Chromecast, they do require a power source. So they're not gonna be able to self-power. They're not gonna be able to draw power from the HDMI to run. So this one does run on a USB-C. And so that's why you have the cable here. It does go to USB-A. So generally you can power these off of your TV. In the past, it's just a low power output. So basically it prefers to be connected to the wall because it gets a little bit more juice that way than just the small amount that comes from your TV. And also some TVs will send power when the TV is off, some won't. So you'll have to play around with your particular device and also with your particular TV. But we should be able to plug it straight into the wall to not run into any issue like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up and then see what I think. All right, so originally what it did is it initially asks for you to use your cell phone to connect to the Google Home app. You can either do that or just set it up directly with the TV. I already have Google Homes in my household, so I was able to just use the existing app and connect it directly, put it into an existing room that we had. At this point, it asked for a series of security permissions, and then it asked for what apps you would like installed, so basically what subscriptions do you have. And so at this point, it is installing all the apps. I would say first impressions, it's very similar to setting up other Google devices. It always seems like there's more questions than you need. It's just a lot of stuff that pops up and gets displayed to you. But it is fairly straightforward. It walks you through the process step by step. It's tough to mess up. And I think overall, I like the hardware. The buttons on the remote here seem pretty responsive. Oh, actually I can swipe through these. Pretty responsive. It set up really quickly. It's already got volume connections here. Interestingly, this is an easy way to test it and display it for you guys. This is a smart TV though. This is the newest one in the household. This is a 65-inch Vizio here. And we've got one in the bedroom that this is ultimately gonna be hooked up to. So I will have to see what it takes to reconnect that so that it controls the volume up there rather than the volume down here. But otherwise, it's been a very simple setup process. I'm gonna let these apps install and see what the overall Google TV interface looks like. All right, so after the app's installed here, we've got a complete page. We can click Start Exploring. And now here is our UI. So this is the new Google TV. It's been out for a few months now, but it's kind of taking over for originally Android TV. And it is the kind of UI that Google has created as an opportunity for you to access everything in a unified manner rather than kind of in the way that most smart TVs work, where you're just jumping kind of from app to app. So you can scroll through and see different things, and it'll actually show you where it is. So you can see this is on HBO Max, this is on Hulu. It'll use Google's intelligence to make recommendations for you based on what you watch. Again, HBO Max, this is live on Pluto TV. So basically looking across the different media outlets to find things that are accessible for you. And then separately, you can go into your different apps that you have here and select and jump right to it. So let's see if I go, since I'm already logged into my Google account, I should be able to get to my YouTube account without any issue. There you go. So now I'm logged in to my YouTube account. You can see some of the channels that I like to watch. I've got an air rack video, How to Drink, who's a great cocktail maker, Colin and Samir, great shout outs there on the first page. So we can, yeah, you can jump right in and watch it here. We can jump back to home. And then I think the only other really thing to highlight would be the Google Assistant. And so there is a Google Assistant button directly on the remote here. One of the few that I didn't mention. It's a different color, and I also noticed it's kind of convex, whereas the other ones are a little bit concave. So I think it's designed so that you can, even in the dark or when you can't see it, be able to know where that is. And I should be able to ask things like, show me comedy movies. And then I think this should bring in some recommendations, ultimately based on what it knows about me, which shouldn't be much right now. But here, popular comedies, and we've got places we can rent it. We've got access to the Rotten Tomatoes rating and what their prices are. Recommended by Netflix, so ones that are already included in that subscription. So a lot of different interesting things here. So this is kind of my first exposure to it. I'm sure I'll learn a little bit more. You can search just by free, so if you're not looking to rent something. But that is pretty cool that you can do it across. And I know there's other Google's not the first ones and only ones that have been able to do this searching across. But this is so far a pretty darn clean implementation of it. So the proof is in the pudding of whether it's able to actually bring up relevant things that you want to watch and that you're interested in. But I'm hoping that it'll be able to do that. And already it is so much faster. Obviously, when you've got a new product like this, it's always going to be faster than one that's several years old. But I'm hoping that this snappiness sticks around, because that is my biggest complaint with the Amazon Fire Stick. We have the basic one, and which really would have come in, I guess it's about a $30. This is about $50. We got it on sale for $40. So it's a slightly more premium product, but that Fire Stick is just so slow. It gets frozen. The updates wind up not having enough storage space. You wind up having to delete a bunch of apps. It's a complete pain. So I'm really hoping that this becomes something that replaces that for good, and that solves all those problems, that we can cast to, that we can stream our favorite services from and be able to watch in bed. So we'll convert that dumb TV into a smart TV once and for all. So this is the Google Chromecast with Google TV. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be sure to address them either in your comment directly or in a follow-up review video. And for now, if you enjoy what you see, remember that the likes are free and the subs don't cost anything either. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.